It's time to get hyped for Kingsglaive, guys. It is time. What's good, my fellow peasants? How are you all doing? Literally just stopped in the middle of editing a World of Final Fantasy video. That'll be the next video coming up. 10 reasons why we should all play World of Final Fantasy. And that was going to be my next video. But then I saw these pictures pop up, or more accurately, one of you guys shared it with me. And this is fucking cool. New characters have been, we've got new screenshots of characters in Kingsglaive, new names we've never seen before. Gonna cover the characters we already know about, the new characters we don't know about, all of their jobs, how hype I am for them. Let's go. First we have Nyx. Oh, shivering with the awesomeness of Nyx. Oh man, he does look like such a dope protagonist. He looks on it. Double daggers, man. Double daggers is like an instant certificate for coolness. If you wield double daggers, you're just instantly cool. Don't give up. You could be an arsehole. You could literally look like Carl Pilkington. But if you wield double daggers, you're instantly cool. Voiced by Aaron Paul. You guys, if you've seen any of my videos on Kingsglaive, you know I've been fangirling like fucking crazy. That is being voiced by Aaron Paul. Cannot wait to see him. Nyx, the protagonist of this film, and a member of the Kingsglaive Guard. When he was a boy, he was saved by King Regis during the war and feels indebted to him for it. He excels in battle and has a high affinity for the magical power of the royal family. So he has a high affinity for the power of the royal family, specifically of the Luce's household. Now that's very interesting because we've seen Regis, he has certain powers very similar to Noctis. A lot of it seems to be purple electric. We see it with Noctis, we also see it with Regis, so the fact he has a high affinity for that magical power, that's going to be quite interesting. Of course, next we have Luna Freya. Don't need to say much about her other than, well, she's really growing on me. The more I keep looking at her Kingsglaive character model design, she looks very different to how she looks in the game, and that was quite jarring at first, but it's growing on me. The description they put for her was quite interesting. An oracle able to communicate directly with the gods, who bears the burden of using that power for the purification of the world. Interesting. Purification of what? Interesting. Even now, she considers the moment she spent with Noctis during her childhood as important. Good. Ship the fuck out of Noctis and Luna. Really hope there's some. I'm mushy when it comes to romance in Final Fantasies. It is so high up there on my list of priorities and importance. Really ship it hard, Square Enix, please. She was supposed to go to Ortissa to be married to Noctis, but she is headed towards the capital of Insomnia instead to make an agreement with King Lucius. Interesting. Next we have Drautos. Oh, Drautos. Man, Drautos is looking solid. He's looking like a fighter. Look at him. Look at the detail. I'm just gonna get it out of the way now, because otherwise I'll just do this on every picture. The fucking detail. The amount of people who have made the comment, you see it on Kingsglaive all the time. It's always one of the highest comments. Like, it's getting to the point now where there literally is just fuck all reason for human actors. There's just fuck all reason for them, and it's true. And Kingsglaive has really enforced that. I mean, that is why it's the top comment on almost every video. Because just look at it, guys. Look at the fucking detail. This is blowing my mind. It really is. The CGI quality on Kingsglaive. I mean, I'm fucking gobsmacked, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud that is the franchise I love that is bringing this, that is making movie history. This is making movie history. Really fucking is. It needs high recognition and high praise. But getting back on subject, Drautos. He is the general in charge of the Kingsglaive Guard. Although extremely tough on both himself and the others, he values those who force themselves to great effort. He is Nyx's master when it comes to fighting. Oh god. Oh, let's see some Drautos moves. Let's see some Drautos move in the movie. Libertus Ostium. Now this guy, he is Nyx's close friend from his hometown. I've been trying to find where that hometown is from. I don't know if that information is actually out there yet, because where these Kingsglaive characters, I'll get onto this a bit more in a minute, where they all come from is very, very interesting. But as for Libertus, he has a bright personality and a strong sense of responsibility, and can also be both emotional and stubborn. Now, I said I was going to move on past Drautos and the detail, but I just got to quickly go back. Look at the detail! Oh god, look how cool he looks! Sissy, look at the boots! Look at even the fucking dirt and mud on the boots! Oh my... The attention to detail is just blowing my fucking mind! Moving on! Luche Lazarus, oh man, this guy looks a bit ominous, man. You just know if this was Harry Potter and they stuck the sorting hat on this motherfucker's head, you know he's going straight into Slytherin. You just know it. Maybe not. I mean, let's read up about his personality. So, a man who acknowledges in himself as in a leader-like position, Slytherin, of the Kingsglaive Guard, and whose intelligence has gained him the trust of the Kingsglaive. Of the Guard's members. Okay, so yeah, he looks like a real ominous character. He's the kind of guy who gets shit done. He's the kind of guy, you know, he's the good guy, but he's gonna do some pretty dark stuff. Like, you know, that guy needs, you know, his spleen carving out from his body alive. He'll do it. This guy needs to torture with some information. Fucking call on Luche Lazarus. He'll be straight on it. Maybe I've got his character wrong. That's just the impersonation I get off him. The impression, sorry. I mean, what is that even in the background? What is that? Is that a whip? Is that like a cat and nine tails? And this guy seems to me like if he weren't a part of the Kingsglaive, he'd be over in, I don't know, like Solheim, and he'd be there whipping slaves all day. Just whipping slaves, and he'd be happy about it. A slave needs a whipping, anyone want to volunteer? Luche would be there like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll give him a good old whipping. I'll whip him a good one. And quickly backtracking, I just saw this pop up, this bit of detail. Nyx, his surname is Ulrich, and I've just seen Ulrich actually means wolf ruler. Very interesting. That's interesting because obviously we see in the trailer he's fighting Cerberus. And of course the connections with the Norse wolves and how I think they're wolf warriors. Very interesting. Just wanted to point that out. Oh, camel toe Crowe. Well, she hasn't got camel toe, I'll admit. But I mean, that is a pretty damn tight outfit. You know, she looks like she might have some glorious glutes going on. Crowe, now, she seems to be like the second main protagonist of the game. Sort of the second key member of the Kingsglaive. That's what I'm getting anyway. She's been in a lot of the trailers. Very dramatic scene where Nyx is shouting her name. So yeah, she's a great magic user who has a number of special abilities. A native of the Lucis frontier, she grew up an orphan and considered the Kingsglaive Guard her family. So she is native to Lucis, and that's interesting because not many of them are, but I'll get onto that in a minute. So yeah, camel toe Crowe, she looks great, she looks great. Now on to the new ones, guys, and this is exciting. Ravus, we finally got to see Ravus in full sort of hood off, full exposure. This is Ravus Nyx. Now, oh man, he kind of looks like Snowvilliers from 13, but he looks so cool. His outfit, oh man, his outfit looks so dope. Now the interesting thing with Ravus, I'm just going to go to the cutscenes because there were also some other pictures of Ravus. This one here being sat in Niflheim. I'm guessing these are Niflheim generals, leaders of the Niflheim kingdom. You've got Iodolus Alderset on the throne. And this, where he sat, I think that's obviously going to be very telling. That is actually where I would have predicted Ravus to be sat. You can imagine whoever's sitting is going to closer to Iodolus is more important. But Ravus, he's not a part of Niflheim. He is Tenebrae, and Tenebrae of course have been taken over. But the interesting thing with the description underneath Ravus's name is Lunafred's older brother. So I mean, I think we all called that straight away. I kept saying, oh, I think it's Lunafred's brother, but I think that was kind of an obvious call. It says he currently belongs to the Niflheim army and is part of the attack on Somnia, the capital of Lucis. So yeah, he is a man of Tenebrae, but he has obviously subjugated the nation of Tenebrae to the Niflheim army. And it's interesting because I did say in a previous video that if when Niflheim attacks Lucis, that we could probably or most likely expect Tenebrae forces to be involved. So this is kind of confirmation of that, and I said that back in the day because I believed that Cerberus was the representative astral of Tenebrae, and that's why Nyx might end up fighting Cerberus, because obviously Tenebrae have been pulled into the fray. But even more interesting than that, and moving on to this picture here, is what that would do between Freya and Ravus's relationship. Now I'm guessing that's Luna Freya. I'm not too sure. It kind of looks like Rosa from FF4. Did anyone think that when they saw that? It kind of looks like Rosa from FF4 from behind. But it's interesting what it's going to do to their relationship as brother and sister, because of course they are not in any way, shape or form going to agree on what Ravus is doing. No, Ravus, he's obviously going for power. He's obviously trying to climb through the trust of... he's in that sneaky position. As one of those subjugated generals. He's in that subjugated general position where he's basically sort of betrayed his nation, betrayed his empire for his own personal gains. Although that's the very strong sense I get. Perhaps he doesn't really have a choice in what he's doing, but I think he does. And if I'm correct, and he is representative of Fenrir, and Noctis is representative of Vidar, and they fight. What's that even going to do between Noctis and Luna's relationship? Do you know what I'm saying? You know, that's Luna's brother. Noctis, you can't just kill her brother. Unless, of course, she has no feelings for him. But that's the interesting thing. This is such an interesting dynamic. This brother and sister situation being on sort of two different sides. And, you know, when it comes down to it, if Ravus is going to die, is Luna Freya going to be throwing herself, you know, to save him, or is she going to be the one who accepts his death? Will she get to a point where she knows her brother is beyond saving? It's such an interesting dynamic. It's such an exciting dynamic. I can't wait to see how this plays out. It could be really dark, really gritty, and in fact, you know what? This could be the undoing of it all. This really could, you know, if Luna Freya really can't, when it gets down to the nitty gritties, as I'm sure it will at the end of the game, when it comes to who has to win, who has to lose, it's just such an interesting dynamic. Glauca, don't quite know why this was on here. That's a really cool detailed picture. He kind of looks like a tree end. He kind of looks like if Treebeard was to summon the tree ends, he'd be summoned. That's some really interesting detail. It kind of looks like tree armor. I like the look of Glauca though, but I don't know why they showed him here, because we've obviously seen him a lot in the past. We've seen a lot of his model, and even the description doesn't give away much more. It's just the clad in armor general of the Niflheim army. No one really knows about his personality, so he is a man of many mysteries. But you know, that's interesting that they do say man. That does give confirmation to what I said previously, that it's hinted that he is human because he is the general of a Magitech armor, but it doesn't seem like he is actually Magitech himself, so that's pretty cool. Hello, Pelna, Kara, aka Saz 2.0, aka Possible Comedy Relief, aka Smiley Dude, aka... What is that on the front of your chest? What is that? What is that? Is that like a chest plate or something? I don't know. I'd like to see what weapons he fights with, but an intelligent and perceptive young man of the Kingsglaive. And once again, I just want to point out, no, clearly a foreigner from the Lucis kingdom. Most likely going to be Solheim. Of course, that's a desert nation, so that's quite interesting. Next one, Twig Furia. I'm going to skip quickly through these because we don't have too much detail other than the models, and they all look great. This looks like a great cast of characters, but Twig Furia, a highly professional man who possesses top class power as a result of repeated training. And that's quite interesting because, you know, you look at him and he looks like he might be a jock, a show off kind of character. You know, if I was to guess, I'd be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be, you know, keep hitting on Crowe, and she's gonna be like, fuck off, mate. You know, she's gonna have none of it. But no, his appearance very much goes against sort of his description. He is highly professional. Next we have Axis Aura. Now I really like Axis. I really like the look of him, and that's kind of weird. I don't know why. He looks like he's going to be funny because of how somber, serious, on the level, one-dimensional, emotionless he's going to be. I really like the looks of Axis. I think I'm going to enjoy his character. I don't know why. I think I do. And it obviously ties with his description. A man with a reserved and untalkative personality. Oh, Axis. And I just want to point out the shoulder thing he's got with the chains going. Man, they all just look so cool. The Kingsglaive look like such a fucking cool fighting force. They really, really do. Oh god damn, Sonitus! Oh man, when I saw this guy, I felt a shiver. I felt a shiver down to my balls. Sonitus hot. You know, the impression I got of him is, you know, when a fight gets to its really barbaric and animalistic stage, the weapons have been disarmed, they've got thrown across the room, they've started grappling on the floor, it's every man out to, to kill the other, kill or be killed, and the one who's animalistic and barbaric enough to just fucking bite out the other guy's jugular, just latches his teeth on and tears it out. Sonitus, he looks like that would be his first port of call. He looks like the tearing out of the throat would be his attack of choice. He'd open with that, just tearing it out with his bare teeth. Sonitus Bellum. I would not want to meet this guy in a dark alleyway. I would not want to. He's going to be effective. He's going to be an effective killer, I can tell. And it kind of, it says a man who values discipline and is a master in the art of weapon use. So those are all the characters. I'll show this last picture. This was one of the final ones that was shown. I just want to show this to touch on the point of, obviously, from the Luce's kingdom, a lot of the Kingsglaive, or pretty much the strong majority, are all foreigners. They're not actually from Lucis. Really hoping there's a reason for that. Oh, what is the reason for that? Why is it that most of the Kingsglaive aren't actually made up of Lucis warriors? They are actually special sort of elite fighters from really many other countries. And is that just because no, they really are the best of the best of the best? They are the elite. They've gone to all four corners of the world to find the absolute best fighters. That's probably the reason, and that's fucking cool. And it's really cool because it's going to bring such a cast of characters together, such a cast of accents, such a cast of fight styles, personalities, looks, appearances, definitely fight styles, definitely fight styles. It's going to be so cool to see, all of those mixed and varied types of fighting if they really do get that cast of Kingsglaive fighters really deep into the fray. Because look at them, just look at this cast. This is a cast I can get behind. This is exciting. And guys, tomorrow, July the 9th, this is coming out to Japan for us here in the West, August the 19th. But honestly, it's landing tomorrow. So really, spoilers are going to start hitting the internet hard over the next week. It could be fucking game over if you're not careful, guys. If you don't keep your head down, honestly, typing in Final Fantasy 15 in the coming week is going to be a dangerous thing to do, because those spoilers are just going to be looking to attack your eye pussy and just give away the entire story. So watch out for that, guys. I'm going to avoid it. Like I said, I am trying to avoid spoilers against all my better nature and instinct, and I want to find out, but I'm avoiding it. So yeah, guys, those are the new Kingsglaive characters. So fucking hyped for this movie. So proud of this movie. It's not even come out, and I'm proud of it just from a CGI perspective. If they get the story right, if they get the action right, they get the fighting right, they get emotions involved in the story, if they just execute it well, this could possibly be the best Final Fantasy movie we have ever had. Or indeed, could possibly be one of the best CGI animated action movies we have ever had. I am very fucking hopeful. Until the next video, guys, which is going to be the 10 reasons why we should all play World of Final Fantasy. Watch it. Even if you think that World of Final Fantasy is not for you, fucking watch it. That is a request as your King Peasant. Watch it. Until then, guys, Crowe.